Hello my Mobile Legends friends and welcome to this video about how to counter all fight heroes in Mobile Legends. If you are a loyal follower of this channel, you by now understand that choosing the right hero is one of the most important factors of increasing your chance of winning. By countering the heroes the enemy team chooses, you can have a big advantage. That's why I want to learn you how to counter any fighter in Mobile Legends. You can use the timestamps below if you want to counter a certain hero, but I highly suggest you watch the full video to increase your overall knowledge about the weakness of certain heroes. Today we start with Zilong. This hero is quite strong from close combat and he can lift a target over his head. His second skill helps Zilong to get close to the target and his ultimate increases his movement speed and attack speed. There are only a few heroes stronger from a close distance than Zilong, so if you want to counter this hero, make sure you keep a safe distance. Heroes with high range and a decent slow effect are the most effective ones to counter Zilong. I suggest you pick heroes like Chou, Angela and Estes to keep him on a safe distance from your team. The next hero is Balmond. He gets his power from his second skill, which deals damage to all enemies surrounding him. Killing minions and heroes restore a certain part of his max HP, which makes Balmond quite durable. When matching up against Balmond, you should avoid fighting him when there are minions surrounding him. Spell Vamp and his passive will make him restore lots of HP when using his second skill. Balmond really relies on healing effects, so picking one of the 3 anti-heal items works very well to decrease his effectiveness. The less mobile heroes are quite weak against Balmond, so be careful not to pick them. Instead, use heroes that are mobile or heroes with high burst damage to destroy Balmond. Heroes like Beatrix, Veil and Aulus can be decent picks to counter Balmond. Next, we have Roger, which currently is a strong pick as a jungler. His strength comes from his strong combo. He has 3 skills when being in human form and another 3 when being in wolf form. When ganking an enemy, Roger can cast 6 skills to take the target down. Especially squishy heroes without any escape skill are an easy target for him. Therefore avoid those kind of heroes. The most effective ones to counter Roger are the ones with high HP and defense to tank this combo. Heroes like Aulus, Grog and Esmeralda might be great picks to sustain Roger's attacks while also dealing damage against him. We find Sun next, and he can be a strong hero because of his doppelgangers. His first or second skill can summon a doppelganger and his ultimate another one, which is why you see 3 Suns when matching up against him. If they all manage to deal damage to you, your HP can be erased quickly. Luckily, there are ways to counter Sun. Heroes that deal high area of effect damage are very useful picks. This way they deal damage to Sun and his doppelgangers, and with a bit of spell vamp you can heal nice on them too. I therefore suggest heroes like Balmond, Dyroth and Lilia to take Sun down easily. The following hero is Aulus, and he can be really powerful if you feed him. His strength comes from his first skill. Every time he kills minions, jungle monsters, heroes or turrets, Aulus obtains stacks. Every stack increases the damage of his first skill. To counter Aulus, it's quite important to hinder him to obtain stacks. This is a bit harder if he jungles, but if he plays on the XP lane, you can quite easily counter Aulus. A great trick is not to attack the minions and drive him away from them. Sustainable heroes that can heal are perfect to keep him on a distance. Just choose heroes like Balmond, Ruby, Uranus or Dyroth to counter Aulus in early game. The next hero is Chou, which can also be really powerful in the right hands. Chou gets his strength from his mobility as well as his CC. Choose a slow hero without escape skill and Chou will destroy you for sure. His first skill consists of 3 parts and you have to look out for the third strike, since this will knock you airborne. The mobile heroes are quite effective against him, as well as the heroes that can counter blink skills. Heroes like Esmeralda, Kufra and Phoveus can be quite effective. By the way, do you mind letting me know which role to counter should I provide next? You can leave a comment, and other suggestions of guides are welcome too. Next hero, Dyroth. He's also a really powerful fighter because he has great healing abilities as well as decent damage. Just like with Balmond, try to avoid fighting him when there are minions surrounding him. He heals a lot on them, so your chances are way better if you fight him when there are no enemies surrounding him. Also, anti-heal items are a must. You can buy one of them depending on the role you play to counter him. Also, heroes with CC are great to decrease the effectiveness of Dyroth. Heroes like Selena, Tigreal, Masha and Nana are great examples to take Dyroth down. Alucard is next on this list, because he wasn't featured in the How to Counter All Assassins guide. He's a fighter that's great in a team fight as well as a 1 vs 1 situation. Don't choose a squishy hero with no escape skills, because Alucard will chase you and sword you to death. He often has decent lifesteal and spell vamp, so the heroes that deal high burst damage are perfect to take him down. Heroes like Adora, Aurora, Beatrix and Aulus are great picks to counter Alucard. Paquito is also an annoying and strong fighter. Most heroes won't dare to come close to him, since his punches deals big amount of damage. He has some strong combos and his passive let him cast one skill again, which allows Paquito to deal 4 times damage with his skills in just seconds. This makes him one of the strongest fighters from a close distance, which is why you should avoid being too close to him. Heroes with bad mobility are weak against him, and especially if they don't have any escape skill. Try to pick heroes with CC instead. Also, high burst damage heroes can be quite effective. Veil, Eudora, Aurora can be useful heroes when played right. Bane is the next one. He can be played as a mage or as a physical based fighter. Bane has some strong skills which deal great area of effect damage. Be careful in team fights, because he can deal massive damage. Also, the cooldown of his skills can become quite low, enabling him to keep spamming his skills to deal damage. Therefore, a hero with good defense can be very useful to protect your damage dealer. Heroes like Tigreal, Aulus, Grok and Beleric are great ones to protect your team. Silvana is a mage based fight hero. She has great CC skills, can deal a good amount of damage with basic attack, and is a bit durable too. Squishy heroes with bad mobility are quite vulnerable against her, especially if she gets you with her ultimate. Be careful when playing a mage, marksman or support, since she can kill you easily from close distance. Silvana should be attacked from a big distance, since she can't harm you this way. Heroes like Veil, Leslie, Clint and maybe Layla can be great picks to counter her. Yu Zhong is one of the strongest heroes in the early game. His passive is so powerful at level 1 and the chance of winning from him isn't that high. He gets his strength from his 4 skills, which deal a good amount of area of effect damage. He also has powerful healing abilities, making him a sustainable fighter. If you want to counter him, you have a really hard time to win without any of the anti-heal items. Also, heroes with CC can be a wise pick, so he can use his skills less often to heal. Heroes like Masha, Tigreal, Silvana, Ruby and Nella are great picks against Yu Zhong. Ruby is the next hero on this list, and I probably don't need to tell you that her strength comes from her insane spell vamp. Her skills heal very well, and they also have a low cooldown. This makes her quite powerful, especially combined with the extra defense from her passive. Just like Yu Zhong, you really need one of the anti-heal items to be effective against her. Heroes with CC skills also can be a wise choice. Choose heroes like Masha, Selena, Angela and Beleric. X.borg can also be a strong fighter, but he isn't that hard to counter. His strength comes from his true damage from his flamethrower. This is especially strong against heroes with high defense like Grok and Ruby. Also, heroes with bad mobility are easy targets for him. If you want to counter X.borg, just choose heroes that deal high burst damage. This way you can easily erase his armor, which makes his skills weaker and also enable to cast his ultimate. Heroes like Cecilia, Veil, Aldous, Beatrix and Leslie can be great picks. Another hero that deals true damage is Alpha. His true damage comes from his passive, which makes him quite strong when building sufficient physical attack as well as cooldown reduction. True damage is great against heroes with high defense, which makes him a great pick against such heroes. He also can heal quite well with some spell vamp and his second skill. To counter him, you need CC, so he can't keep spamming his skills. Heroes like Selena, Tigreal, Beleric and Nana are great picks to counter Alpha. Guinevere is the next hero I want to teach you about. Her strength comes from her CC combined with high damage. Her second skill can be used to knock a target airborne, and her ultimate can repeat the CC up to 6 times. This deals really high damage, and in most situations you can't do anything if she jumps on you. Therefore, it's quite important you try to dodge this attack and be careful around bushes. Heroes that can counter her are the ones that can use CC to cancel her second skill. Ruby is the perfect pick for that, and if you want to learn how to counter her, I've made a complete guide about Ruby that counters Guinevere in the XP lane.
Never yield.
Yin is the newest fighter at the time of recording. He deals a good amount of damage, is quite mobile and has CC. His strength gets increased when there are no heroes surrounding him, so keep in mind that he has an advantage if you 1 versus 1 him. His ultimate is also quite powerful, since this forces you to 1 versus 1 him in a locked area. This skill is especially powerful against squishy mage heroes like Aurora and Veil. If you want to counter him, you should choose heroes that can protect these squishy heroes. Heroes like Tyrael, Atlas and Grog might be perfect to keep him on a distance. Freya is the only hero that can't be bought by battle points. She isn't played that often, but she is one of the best heroes in early game. Freya deals a few fast basic attacks after every skill she casts. Be careful if you match up against her in the first levels, because she might destroy you in early game, which gets her strong in late game too. CC is the biggest weakness of her, as well as heroes that attack from a distance. You can pick heroes like Cecilian, Tigreal, Franco and Leslie. Badang is the next one. This hero has a great combo, which is quite deadly in certain situations. He can move towards you and create a small wall behind you. Then he has his first skill to deal a good amount of damage, and his ultimate hits even higher. Be very careful, he doesn't come close to you when you play a squishy hero that can't escape easily. If you want to counter him, it's important to not let him come close easily. You can use heroes like Tigreal, Grog, Leslie and Clint to fight him. Jawhead is the next one that has quite powerful skills. He can be a real strategic hero because he's able to throw allies, enemies and minions. If you play a slow hero with no escape skill, you can expect to get thrown to the enemies by his second skill. He's also a great hero in a 1 versus 1 situation, since all his rockets will deal damage to you. To counter him, make sure you got some minions surrounding you. You can pick heroes with CC to make Jawhead less effective. A few examples are heroes like Silvana, Brody, Carmilla and Angela. The following hero on this list is Argus, and he's a true late game hero. His strength comes from his ultimate, which prevents him from dying for a few seconds. Combined with his high basic attack damage, Argus can be a true nightmare. If he casts his ultimate, the best way to counter him is to run away, since he can heal up again by dealing damage. Also CC helps a lot, so you can prevent him from moving and casting skills, so he loses time of his immortality. Selena, Chou, Nana and Barret can be perfect picks to counter him. Lapu-Lapu is the next fighter. He isn't played that often, but can be quite powerful. His skills deal area of effect damage, which makes him quite strong in team fights. Especially if he builds some spell vamp, he can heal very well. Try not to walk closely to your allies, since this decreases his effectiveness. Also be careful when he casts his ultimate, since it deals high damage. To counter him, you can pick CC heroes. Franco, Belleric and Angela are perfect. Aulus is the next one. He's able to deal really high damage with his basic attack. If you want to prevent this, make sure he can't come close easily. He can only deal high damage from a close distance, so if you choose heroes that prevents him from getting close, you can counter him quite well. Valor, Chou, Tigreal and Grog are great ones to pick against Aulus. Martis is another hero that's strong from a close distance. Casting skills increases his attack speed. His skills also have some CC and immunities to CC, which is a great to initiate a team fight. Be careful after you cast his skills, since this can increase his attack speed by a maximum of 120% for 4 seconds. You should also play safely when your HP is low. His ultimate deals true damage whenever your HP is below 50%. If he makes a kill with it, the cooldown is reset, making him ready to deal damage again. CC is his greatest weakness. Cast this on the right moment to let him lose his attack speed buff. Heroes like Nana, Sicilian, Vil and Chou can be perfect heroes to counter him. Phoveus is the next hero we'll go over. This guy gets his power from enemies with blink skills, because this reduces the cooldown of his skills and enables him to deal damage with his ultimate multiple times. Be careful if you play heroes like Lancelot, Wan and Chou, because Phoveus can destroy you. To counter him, just choose heroes that don't choose blink skills and heroes that deal damage from a big distance. This makes heroes like Diggy, Vil, Leslie and Layla perfect picks.
The enemy has slain the
Thamuz is also a hero that can't be forgotten. He can be strong from close distance. When his sight is returning to Thamuz, he deals a good amount of damage afterwards, so try to dodge this. Make sure you stay at a distance and you can kill him easily. Therefore, heroes like Valor, Grog, Tigreal and Atlas might be great picks. Minsitthar is a hero that doesn't get played that often, but he can be a wonderful pick to counter enemies with blink skills. He's great against Fanny and Lancelot. If you match up against him, just make sure he doesn't grab you and stay at a distance to be safe. Heroes like Layla, Leslie, Vil and Sicilian might be wonderful picks. Next up, Masha. She is one of the best heroes to destroy turrets and take down the Turtle and Lord. Very mobile heroes can be useful to protect the objectives. Also, heroes that deal good continuous damage are perfect to take Masha down. I suggest you pick heroes like Esmeralda, Chou, Bastia and Cyclops. We didn't went over Khaleed yet, and he also deals a good amount of damage from a close distance. He also heals very well, so you might pick one of the anti-heal items to counter him. Also, heroes with high movement speed or blink skills have a good chance of dodging his ultimate. You can pick heroes like Vil, Esmeralda, Lancelot and Bruno to be quite effective against him. Next, we have Hilda. She also heals quite well, because she recovers HP when being inside a bush. Therefore, anti-heal items are no bad idea to counter her. Also, heroes with high burst damage are great to take her down. Heroes like Beatrix, Vil, Eudora and Aurora are great picks. Terizla is a hero that doesn't get played that much. He's quite strong from close distance, since his second skill deals high area of effect damage to all enemies in front of him. Also, the lower HP he has, the less damage he takes, so try to take this in your calculations. If you want to counter him, CC and high damage are your best friends. Heroes like Silvana, Brody, Moskov and Selena might be wise picks. Then the very last hero is Leomord. You don't see him that often, but he can be strong in the right hands. His ultimate makes him especially powerful, since this will improve his skills, increase his defense and movement speed, as well as making his basic attack deal damage to all enemies surrounding him. Try to move back when his horse is approaching, or make him miss his horse is even better. Heroes like Valor, Tigreal, Moskov and Barretts can use their skills to move Leomord and let him miss his ultimate. It took a while, but now we went over how to counter all fighter heroes. Do you like content that improves your Mobile Legends gameplay? Just subscribe to the channel and join the club, so I'll do my best to improve your skills. As always, thank you for watching and I'll be seeing you again in the next guide.